I guess I could give a statement. That's fine. I mean, I appreciate you guys taking our time today to spend a little time with us. I mean, we're still obviously heavily involved in football season right now, but we talk a little basketball today and everything. We got some news yesterday, and with the start of our season being now we have a starting date. That was up in the air for a good while, but now we have some certain to when we're starting. You always have to have a starting point. We're going to be able to start our season November 25th. We'll be able to start official practice on October 14th. Also talked about number of contests that we could have for qualifying for the NCAA tournament. You have to have at least 13 contests to qualify for postseason. We got some great news yesterday, and the fact that we were able to get JB eligible, Jamal Bieniemy eligible for this coming season. He played the 2 previous seasons at the University of Oklahoma, and was their starting point guard there. And we're excited about what he brings to the table in terms of his experience, his leadership, and how he makes others around him better out there as a point guard. So we're excited about having him out, have an opportunity to play this season. We have a couple other guys still pending right now with waiver situations as well moving forward, but we've had a chance to work with this group now for give or take about, I think this is our 6th or 7th week. I think it is that we just finished up, I think, our 6th week of work with our guys. And we've got a chance to get familiar with them. They've had a chance to get familiar with us. And I like what I've seen from this group. They've been a very no-nonsense type group, both on and off the court. And they're just really going about their business. I mean, we have a group of guys, I think, that all like each other. And I think they have a chance to be a team that's connected and on the same page with what they're trying to get done for this year. We know this is going to be a year where we're going to have to be able to navigate through uncharted waters, more so than any time, that I've been coaching. I know at the Division I level. So, we talked about that and addressed it, some of that today. There are going to be points during the season this year where a next person is going to have to be ready to play, just based on circumstances and situations that may occur throughout the course of this season. It's going to be a season where, a lot of the best teams are going to be teams that are disciplined and disciplined to the point of where we're in a pandemic right now, and you're going to have to try to make the right choices and the right decisions in terms of not putting yourself at risk or your teammates at risk in order to be able to stay on the wood and hopefully limit your distractions throughout the course of the season. But we're excited about the start of the season. I'm excited about this team. I like this group. I've enjoyed working with this group to this point right now, and I think we have a chance to have a good group to work with this year.
Okay, thanks, Coach. All right, you can go ahead and fire away with questions.
Jamal, what's just the process been like coming out here, learning a new team? I guess you've got a couple of former guys you played in high school with. What's just your whole time out here so far been like?
It's definitely a learning experience for me. It's kind of the complete opposite of where I came from. Here, it's a lot of up-tempo, high pace, so I've just been trying to get used to that. Just getting the guys to gain the respect and the trust of the guys on the floor and off the floor, and just being a leader.
How exciting was yesterday for you to get that news? Did you kind of expect it?
It was really exciting. It's something that we've been working on, so to get that news, it was really good for me.
Obviously, having a chance to get into practice with the guys, how does your skill set kind of fit with this team, and what are you kind of hoping to add this year?
I think my skill set fits good because we got players 1 through 5. Everybody can play. Everybody can do different things, and I feel like I can help tie the group together as a leader on the court and keep us together and keep us going when adversity hits.
Why'd you choose UTEP? I mean, obviously, because there were a number of schools that were interested in having you play for them, but what was it about the Miners that drew to you?
From the first day, Coach Terry put his trust in me, and he told me that it would be a good place for me if I wanted to get to the next level, and that he was gonna push me and make me work hard every day to get better.
Are there aspects of your game that you're kind of trying to, improve upon from when you're at Oklahoma, and what can you do more with your individual game to help this team this year?
Definitely, I've worked on everything, mostly just getting stronger, staying in the weight room, maintaining my speed, On the court, just being vocal, being a vocal leader, making shots, making the right plays, and just being more effective offensively for my team.
What have you seen from the talent level from this year's UTEP team already with a couple weeks of workouts in?
I think we got all the right pieces. We have shooters. We have guys that can make plays, guys who can score. We have posts inside that can get it done. And we have a group of guys that are willing to work hard, I feel like, every possession and get after it. So up to this point, it's been really good for us.
How do you think you can use your experiences from Oklahoma, playing in the NCAA tournament as well too? How can you use that and bring that here? Is that expertise that you're gonna share with your new teammates? What are you gonna bring, I guess, from your past to here?
Definitely, just being vocal and just setting an example every day, being an everyday guy, making sure I'm vocal and telling the guys, making sure they get their trust in me. So that's something that's probably the biggest thing that I've worked on, is just gaining the trust of my teammates and just being more of a vocal leader.
When did you get out here?
Probably a month and a half ago, maybe a month.
It's
been a while.
We have to be in August 1st.
Jamal, how different has this offseason been, just obviously with everything going on and just in terms of staying in shape and doing things that probably a lot differently than you normally would?
I think for me personally, I think it's been good. I haven't been having to run around as much. I've been staying in one spot, just making sure I get the work in, making sure I stay focused and just stay on top of everything.
Hey, Coach Terry, just what did it mean to you to get Jamal, not only to get him here, but to also have him immediately eligible? Just what did it mean to you?
Well, anytime you're able to get a caliber player such as Jamal Bieniemy, I mean, Jamal's a guy that's played, that position his entire life. He's 6'5", and man, he's got a load of potential moving forward in terms of where his basketball career takes him. But I think the biggest thing, nowadays is not only the talent, but also the character piece. I mean, he comes from a great family. Mom and dad have done a great job raising him to this point right now. And, it'd be my job and our staff to continue to push him to continue to grow into a young adult and young man moving forward here and stuff. But I think anytime you have a really high character kid that has the chance to be a really good player, well, you got something to work with, and you have a chance to take your program to another level.
Coach, does Jamal bring something to the team that maybe something that the Miners maybe have lacked in your tenure so far here? What's something that he brings that you haven't seen yet here in El Paso?
He's a real point. I mean, he's a point guard. He's played it his entire life. I mean, the 2 years I've been here, we've had to try to develop guys that weren't true point guards and guys that we had to try to develop at that position. And, we have a true point guard in Jamal Bieniemy. We have a true point guard in Boot. Those guys have played that position their entire lives. And, it makes a huge difference in when you're trying to teach a guy how to play that position. Obviously there are going to be a lot of intangible things that we have to continue to work with and get JB better with at that position, pace, being more vocal. But, just having a chance to play that position already, have the size. He shoots the ball really well for his position. He can score the ball for us as well, and things of that nature. He makes other guys around him better. He's not afraid to hold other teammates accountable. He's done that before. He's done it at a very high level already. He did it at a very high level in high school, played for a state championship. He did it at a very high level at Oklahoma. He played in NCAA tournaments. So, I mean, you can't. I mean, if you're trying to go and get a point guard at this juncture right now, someone who's played that position with that kind of experience, I mean, we can't ask for a better situation and a better kid to come in and be given the reins to our program.
I guess you were joking about, not having any answers for everything that was announced yesterday, but, obviously what are some of the things that you kind of want to see over the next couple of months as we start learning more and that process, gets closer and closer to the season? What are some of the things you would like to see Conference USA put together in terms of health regulations, helping you guys get ready for season, stuff like that?
Well, I still think it's a very fluid situation right now. I mean, we have a lot of trickle-down things right now, even from the Power 5 conferences right now in terms of, scheduling right now is a big piece. Everybody's kind of talking around the country, how you're going to schedule right now. Their conference is getting together right now at Power 5, trying to decide how many conference games they're going to play. Some of them talking about a round robin type situation where, they may play up to 26 conference games. So we really don't know. And a lot of that's going to trickle down to the mid-major level in terms of what games are going to still be available. And, I think a lot of us right now really don't know in terms of how that until all those decisions have been made in terms of what the Power Fives are going to be able to do, and then what our conference is going to be able to do. I mean, we're going to still stick it to our 18-game schedule. What are going to be the parameters for us to go and schedule non-league games against opponents, with the testing component also being relevant as well. So there's just a lot of moving parts right now, and we got the date yesterday, which was a great start, and now the real work starts in terms of how we can put together a competitive schedule that will prepare us for conference play.
Speaking of scheduling, I know the maximum is 27 games. Do you want to play 27 games, or do you have like a lower number in your head?
Well, again, it all depends on if you're in an MTE. I mean, it gives you, more games that you can play. If you're not in an MTE, then you're limited to about 7 non-conference games along with our 18 games. So we're at 25. So we're still trying to put that puzzle together. I mean, we had a schedule that was already set, and everybody pretty much at this juncture of the season right now had a schedule already set. So now we're having to shift gears a little bit right now, kind of put the pieces around and see what makes sense for us right now from a travel standpoint, from a safety standpoint in terms of do we want to try to stay in our region and play regional opponents as opposed to going across the country and exposing our guys to other things. There are a lot of different factors in terms of how we're going to have to arrive at the end of the day with the competitive, non-conference schedule for that matter.
Now with the set starting date and practice as well too, now pretty much a month from today, now that you have those dates set, is there anything that you're going to have to expedite, I guess, with your guys, maybe intensify practices a little bit with that short turnaround of a start date? What, I guess, adjustments as far as preparation are you having to make in the pandemic?
I think you got to be very smart. I don't think you can go and blow your team out right now. We're still 2 months out from, starting our season. And, when you talk about official practice, we start October 14th. I think you have to be really smart about how you go about pushing your group, and, the season's a long season. So it's going to be very, very important how you manage your guys right now and everything. We've gone pretty hard right now for a little over 6 weeks right now. And, our guys have gotten acclimated back to school, and, they have a school schedule right now that they're working with right now as well. So I think it's just a matter of deciding kind of how you want to do that program, probably program to program in terms of how and when, how hard you want to push the guys right now at this point and stuff. So, I always say that it's a marathon, man. It's not a sprint. You can't just sprint out the gate. You got to be able to prepare for a long season. Usually we would have scrimmages and expeditions, but we don't have any of those right now that we're going to be able to play. So you're going to have your early non-conference, and then you're going to have conference play, and then you're going to have postseason play. So, you have to be smart about how you manage your guys throughout the course of the year. But we're gonna take it real slow. We've done some things already. Our guys had 5 months off where they didn't do anything from a basketball standpoint. So we had to work really hard on the conditioning piece, just getting them moving again, getting them used to moving in a basketball activities and things of that nature there. And then we gradually worked our way into, start trying to do some of the fundamental things that we needed to do from a defensive standpoint as well as an offensive standpoint. So we're kind of just now rounding our way in pretty good. And, we've got quite a bit of stuff thrown at them quite a bit. We've done a lot of whole as opposed to the part. And now we got to kind of hone in a little bit on the details and really concentrate on what we really want to try to be good at, both offensively and defensively. But you got to be really smart. You can't just go and blow these guys out right now and not have them prepared for the real season when it starts.
Hey, Jamal, just real quick. Oh, sorry. Jamal, just real quick. Just obviously having a date to prepare for. It's November 25th. You guys aren't just kind of, stuck in limbo, not knowing what exactly you're preparing for? Just how much does that help you guys as players?
It helps us a lot. I mean, we talked about it. We talked about it as a team last night after practice. The guys, we spoke about it. We just understand that we have a day and that we have to get ready and we have to be all in and just make sure that when that day comes, whenever it's time to play, that we're all prepared and ready to go.
Hey, Jamal, I have a question from Adrian Broadus from 600 ESPN. They're asking, what's it been like playing with your former high school teammates, Christian Sholin and Emmanuel White?
It's been good to play with them and see those guys from when I played with them before to where they are now. It's been good to see that those guys are hard workers, so they push me whenever we're out of practice and we're just working out. So I think it's been good for me personally to have those guys around. And they've been pushing me.
And then
Coach,
go ahead.
Coach, I got a question for you. You hear a lot of fun stories about how people were staying in shape, I guess, during the pandemic, a couple months back, and lifting backpacks or like home gyms and stuff, kind of funny stories like that. Did you notice that anybody on your team where they kind of showed up and you're like, wow, that you kind of put on some weight and put on some muscle in quarantine or sort of kind of transform their game, their body, anything like that?
Well, I thought there were a couple guys that stayed pretty on top of it, and whether they were working out or eating correctly, and things of that nature. There, I thought they came back in pretty good shape, and we're like, wow, okay, they were able to maintain over that course of that time. I mean, we're still in the pandemic right now; it hasn't disappeared yet; it's still here, and everything. But I thought Titus, Titus came back looking great. I thought his body was in tip-top shape. I thought he was in really good shape once we got started, but really put on some really good mass and looked really fit. I thought Effie did a great job of maintaining his body weight, and things you would think that it would go the other way, but he came back and his body looked really good, and he had done a really good job of eating the right way and taking care of his body and being in a pretty good shape for that matter as well and stuff. So I guess those were two guys I think that kind of stood out from the team in terms of just, from a physical standpoint, and everything. And I think, some of our new guys have gotten acclimated to working with CJ really well, and they understand the importance of really building and working on their bodies. Jamal's up to about 185 now. We're working hard to get him to about 190, 195, and his body's looking good. I looked at it, I'm always watching those bodies. I watched his body today. His body just looking from behind is looking pretty good. It's rounding out pretty good. And I think they're taking a really good approach to really wanting to have a great body in terms of one that's going to put them in the best position to be, make explosive plays and play through contact and also try to prevent injuries as well.
Hey, Jamal, so I have another question. It's a two-parter from ESPN 600. The first part of the question is after, for the first few months, you got to play with, practice with Bryson Williams. How would you compare him to other big-name talents across the country?
Bryson's just a dominant player. He gets what he wants. He gets to the spot anytime he wants to. He's a physical guy. He's just as good as anybody in the country. I mean, he could play with anybody, battle, go against anybody. He's really that good.
And second part of the question is, how would you compare the talent here so far to the talent compared that you competed with and against in the Big 12?
To me, it's all the same. The guys here, we put in the extra work. I'm able to see these guys day in and day out. So I see the guys putting in work, and when we come together on the floor, you can see the talent. You can see the work that everybody's putting in come together as a team.
JB, you've had that question before, right?
Yeah.
I'm kidding with him. I've asked him. I said, JB, tell me a little bit about Oklahoma, your team that you were able to play with there. And I said, we were able to play those guys tomorrow. What kind of game would it be if we played Oklahoma, tomorrow? And I asked him how, I asked him what the outcome would possibly be of that game. And I also asked him, I said, well, how would you compare the talent level to both programs and everything? So, he obviously has had a chance to work with us right now. He's had a chance to play with those guys. So he would know the answer to that question. But he's heard that question before.
Jamal, how do you like El Paso, man? Just as a city, because it's a pretty unique spot compared to other places. What have you like? Have you gotten around to see the city at all?
Yeah, I love it. It's a great spot. I love the scenery. I wake up every day, I can see the mountains and stuff like that. The weather is great. So I mean, I've loved this so far. It's been great.
What opportunities are you going to think you're going to have here at UTEP that maybe you didn't have at Oklahoma? Like when you were looking to leave, what were you looking for that UTEP had that you didn't have where you were?
Here, I think just Coach Terry is just putting his entire trust in me, just letting me just run the team and just go as far as I can go with the team and just continue to grow as a person, as a leader on and off the court.
Anything else, guys?
Just lastly, real quick, Coach. I mean, probably an answer that nobody really knows, but are you optimistic at all about getting Christian maybe eligible for this season?
I'm a very optimistic person, just in general, you know. So, you know, you like to always think in a very positive light in terms of, you know, having all your guys available to play and everything. But, you know, I think, again, you know, we've got a great compliance department that does an outstanding job. David Cougar and his staff, those guys have done a tremendous job from the time that we stepped on this campus to currently right now and working with those type of situations. And those guys have put, I think, all of those situations in the best possible position that they can be in right now. And, you know, the decisions are not in our hands and everything, but we feel great about it, you know, and hopefully, you know, we will be granted some favor that we're able to get those guys through the chute as well and have them be a part of this season as well.
Anything else, guys?
All good.
All good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Guys, thank
Thanks,
you
guys.
very much. Coach, Jamal, thank you.
Okay, thank you guys.
You guys, thank you all.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. I'll send that link out.
Thanks, Drew.